Now, now is the time to raise our consciousness. Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. Today is Thursday, March 18, 2021. So today is our final day, our final installment of the discussion on the subject of elevating your consciousness above the level of physical reactions. So far, we've discussed our current state of consciousness, which seems to be stalled at the level of reactive animal consciousness. We shared how our DNA was altered over the centuries through the trauma of massive violence and cruelty in wars. We've introduced using the two-chair method to reach forgiveness of others, and also the critical step of self-forgiveness to achieve clarity and release those negative emotions that serve as hooks to anchor you to the past and prevent you from rising in consciousness. So today we move on to the next step of your elevating your consciousness by addressing the issue of training your brain. We're training your brain to a level where you can more easily connect with peace, harmony, and love, which is infinite intelligence. Please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, choose to subscribe. The thumbs up button is below. If I'd love to hear your chats, your questions, thoughts, and comments. So use the chat box on the right side of the screen. That is, if you're watching this live at 3 p.m. on Thursday the 18th. If you're watching it any other time, please use the comment section below to state your questions, comments, and suggestions. Remember, the thumbs up button is below, so please use it. So we're going back to training your brain to connect with infinite intelligence. Remember, the objective here is to train you overall to elevate your consciousness to the point that you can then help elevate the consciousness of those around you. So we're discussing 3 ways to train your brain to move you up to that level, that higher level of consciousness. Meditation, binaural beats, and practicing the presence. So first, let's talk about meditation. Now, meditation is a mental exercise that trains the mind to focus, to be present in the moment, and elevate awareness. The purpose of meditation is to reduce and or eliminate the mind's reactivity to negative thoughts and feelings, as well as the distractions of the normally chattering conscious mind. It's always talking. So it's basically a method for taking control of the mind so it'll do what you want it to do, as opposed to allowing it to do what it wants to do, whenever it wants to do it. Meditation has been shown to increase focus, reduce stress, promote calmness, which are all important factors in the efforts to raise your consciousness. Now, studies have shown that meditation, even for as little as 10 minutes a day, increases the brain's alpha waves. And this brain state is where dreams are created, where psychic abilities begin to be expressed, and creativity begins to expand. This is putting you in direct contact with infinite intelligence. Now, there are infinite ways to meditate. There's the mindfulness meditation, which is a form of concentration and awareness of the present moment. Then there's focus meditation, which involves focusing on an object like a candle flame or a dot on the wall. Then there's physical meditations like yoga or walking or even dancing. In fact, I have a book entitled Complete Meditation, written by Stephen Cravatt back in 1982. And in that book, Mr. Cravatt describes over 100 ways to meditate. 100 ways to meditate. Now, nowadays there are literally hundreds, and I do mean hundreds of books discussing ways to meditate. And now with the explosion of technology which gives us the internet and YouTube and the smartphone, there are literally thousands of guided meditations that are available that can be accessed through your devices that will lead you down the pathway of whatever meditative technique you want to take advantage of. Basically, there's no longer any excuse for saying you're not able to meditate, because there is now a technique for every kind of mind and every kind of mental resistance that exists for meditation. All you have to do is download it. But the point of meditation is to settle the mind so that you can actually hear the guidance from God. It's said that prayer is when you talk to God, and meditation is when God talks to you. Through meditation, God, or infinite intelligence, not only talks to you, but gives you guidance, shows you the answers to problems, builds self-confidence, and cooks your dinner. I was only kidding about the cooking of dinner. Just wanted to see if you were paying attention. But I must admit, I have come out of meditation with some very delicious recipe ideas. So the key is to find one or more meditation techniques that work for you. What we're going for here is to achieve a state of peace. When you are able to access that level of peace, your body changes, your thinking patterns change, your resilience increases, and your electromagnetic field changes. And the people around you can actually feel the difference. So go ahead, Google the word meditation and start to explore and find the ones that are right for you. You know, as I said, one or more. That's because it has been my experience that one method will work for a while, but then it doesn't. So switching to another can keep your mind engaged and serve to take you to deeper and deeper levels of meditation. The next approach is called Binaural Beats. Now, Binaural Beats is totally the creation of technology. Whereas meditation can be practiced without electronic assistance, binaural beats can only be practiced with electronic devices. And since this field is so new, there's some controversy attached to it. Some studies say it works. Other studies say it has no effect. And other studies are mixed. So what are binaural beats? Well, when you hear two tones, one in each ear, that are slightly different in frequency, your brain processes a beat that is the difference between the two frequencies. And this is called a binaural beat. So let's say you're listening to a sound on your left ear that's a frequency of 132 hertz. And then in your right ear, you're listening to a sound that's at 121. So 132, 121, the difference between the two is 11 hertz. So your brain gradually falls into sync with the frequency that is the difference, or 11 hertz. So instead of hearing two different tones, your brain instead hears one tone and synchronizes itself to that one tone. Now, binaural beats are claimed to induce the same state associated with a meditation practice, but much more quickly. So let's take a look at binaural. So binaural beats are said to reduce anxiety, increase focus and concentration, lower stress, increase relaxation, foster positive moods, promote creativity, and help manage pain. It's a lot of stuff. Sounds like that old snake oil they used to have, but it really works. Binaural beats is as I said, is a relative new field. Meditation has been around for thousands of years. Binaural beats have been around since the late 1970s. So, and when you're going to use them, you need to decide which brainwave pattern or frequency fits your desired state. That is, what do you want to accomplish with it? So there are some different ranges that are available. From 1 to 4 has been associated with deep sleep and relaxation. The theta range from 4 to 8 hertz is the range that's linked to sleep and reduced anxiety and relaxation, as well as meditation and creative states. And that's the one I use. That one is the 4 to 8. Then there's alpha, which is 8 to 13, which is relaxation, promoting positivity, and reducing anxiety. And then you go up another level to the lower beta, and that's 14 to 30. And that's been linked to increased concentration and alertness and problem solving and super learning and improved memory. So as I said before, the 4 to 8 hertz is mine. It's what I use to get through the meditation level. And so as a practitioner, as I am a practitioner, but not a medical professional, I found that what works for me is the frequencies that are tuned to the meditative pattern, 4 to 8 hertz. But you decide what you want to use. Also, what I want to point out here is that there are so many now, there's so many binaural beat downloads out there that you need to try probably a few. As I said, I use the one for meditation, and the value of it is that it takes your mind to this state where it is equivalent to deep meditation, which can only be achieved after years of meditation, because it takes training and it takes practice to get to the deeper states of meditation. But this electronic device, Binaural Beats, 4 to 8 hertz, gets you there very quickly, very quickly. So, as I said, that's the method I've used. So, as I said, there are a lot of them out there, so you need to try different ones. If you feel that one isn't working for you, then go to another one. Give that one a try. Personally, the one I use is one called Holosync. Now, Holosync is the product of the Centerpoint Research Institute. And it's not free. First of all, let me give you that. It is not free. It costs some money. And they have different stages, and they have different outcomes. So, but it's very sophisticated, and it's well run, and it's got a lot of support services. And that's the key for me, is that it has all these support services. And so if I have trouble, I have somebody I can call and get some advice on, and share my thoughts about what is going on, and they can give me some feedback as to what's happening. So I feel that because of its support, because of its sophisticated technology, that Holosync is the one for me. By the way, I don't get paid by them for anything. The last technique I want to discuss is called practicing the presence. Now, what that means to me is the act as if infinite intelligence is always there. That's practicing the presence. Now, for me, that means carrying on a continuous internal conversation with infinite intelligence. That means I consult with infinite intelligence about everything, on all decisions, no matter how trivial. Should I have a Sam sandwich or a roast beef sandwich? Should I wear the red shirt or the blue shirt? Sounds strange, doesn't it? Well, sounds like a waste of time to involve spirit in such mundane matters. But here's the key. Infinite intelligence is all there is. So I'm an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. And infinite intelligence is in me and expressing as me. So by constantly conversing with infinite intelligence, I'm acknowledging its presence in my life. I am surrendering to infinite intelligence in my life, and I'm listening for my answers from infinite intelligence in my life. So as a result, I have no regrets. I have no doubts because my decision was guided by infinite intelligence. So how do I get my answers from infinite intelligence? Well, it's all internal. It's a sensing, a feeling, a twitch, an urge, a knowing. I don't know, I've been doing it for so long that it works in lots of ways for me. And because I have this high level of sensitivity to feedback from infinite intelligence, I'm also more sensitive to what's going on around me because I'm receiving input through more than just my five physical senses. But when I first started this process, my answers would come through my fingers. I get a twitch on my index finger for a positive answer or a twitch on my middle finger for a negative answer. After a while, I became aware of other little signals that were responding to me within my body and letting me know what infinite intelligence had to say. So in addition to this constant conversation I have with infinite intelligence, practicing the presence, I also do what is known as praying without ceasing. Now what that is in quiet moments when I'm not talking or questioning, I'm repeating over and over in my mind little prayers like, thank you in the name of the Christ, or thank you, Mother, Father, God, or infinite intelligence is all there is, or I'm an individualized expression of infinite intelligence, or there is no spot where God is not, or wherever I am, God is, or thank you, angels, or thank you, thank you, thank you. So the overall effect is that I feel at peace because I know that infinite intelligence is always there and I am always connected to it. Let me stop here. I have to admit something. I am no saint. As much as I'd like to be, I'm not always at peace. In fact, a few days ago, I was on the phone with a friend of mine who lives in Seattle, and I was ranting about a telephone conversation I just had with a young man who was telling me that I had missed a payment on one of my accounts. Now, when I started asking questions about what payments had been recorded, because I had been sending him payments, he couldn't answer my questions because he said, well, the person with that information is not in the office today. So it's like, what? So I was complaining about him wasting my time because he didn't have his case together. He didn't have the answers to my questions. And so we actually got nowhere. And so she started laughing at me. And she teased me, saying that she was glad to see that I'm human because she thought nothing ever fazed me. Well, it does. I got blindsided on that one. And even with all my spiritual training, I still got irritated and pissed off by his ineffectiveness. So here we are. That ends our discussion on elevating our consciousness to save ourselves and the planet. Our subject today was training the brain through meditation, or binaural beats, or practicing the presence. I urge you to try all three because the work we have ahead of us as spiritual warriors is colossal. We're out to save the world. Yeah. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we're now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain that we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier, healthier, and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. So, thank you for watching. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button below the video. If you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. This is Thursday, so I'll see you again on Monday. I really appreciate your being here. Remember, I'd love to hear your comments, thoughts, and questions, so please place them in the comment section below. I read them all and I will answer them. So thank you very much. Let us continue with the work of raising our consciousness so that we are spiritual warriors who are going to help change the world. I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this has been On the Wings of Your Mind.